Veronica suddenly rose during the reading of Grandma's will and jabbed her finger at me, declaring, "She doesn't deserve a single cent." I was convinced everything was over. But then the attorney opened his laptop and spoke 7 words that drained the color from every face in the room. "Let me show you who the actual thief is. My name is Melanie, and I'm going to tell you how my grandmother Dorothy pulled off the most elegant revenge from beyond the grave, exposing a culprit no one suspected while delivering a lesson to our entire family we would never forget." Tuesday afternoon in September, we had all gathered inside her elegant Victorian home, the one with the sweeping wraparound porch and the rose bushes she had planted 4 decades earlier. This was the same house where, for the past 3 years, I had spent every Sunday bringing her groceries, teaching her how to use her smartphone, and listening to tales of the most beloved bakery in town that she once ran with Grandpa. The scent struck me the moment I stepped through the front door that afternoon. Warm cinnamon rolls, the signature fragrance that had permeated every corner of the house for decades. Impossible, since no one had baked there since she died 3 weeks earlier. Yet somehow the walls themselves seemed to release that comforting aroma, like a final tender farewell from her. I smoothed the daisy print dress Grandma always said made me look like a ray of sunshine. It felt right to wear something she loved, even if Veronica would surely mock my old-fashioned taste. As a third-grade teacher, I didn't earn much, but Grandma never judged by labels or luxury cars. She valued presence. The living room was crowded with relatives I hadn't seen since the funeral 3 weeks before. My mother Janet sat beside me, occasionally squeezing my hand for support. My younger brother Wesley leaned against the wall, his painter's gaze probably already appraising the worth of Grandma's artwork. Uncle Robert had claimed the big leather armchair as though it were already his property, while his wife Priscilla kept glancing at her phone, no doubt sharing updates about the family estate gathering on Instagram. And then there was Veronica, seated straight across from me in her tailored designer outfit, manicured nails drumming on her Louis Vuitton bag. She'd always been the family's shining star, top real estate agent, Tesla driver, downtown loft resident. To her, I, a modest elementary school teacher, must have seemed like an intruder who had somehow wormed her way into Grandma's affections. After Grandpa died, I was the only grandchild who visited regularly. Every Sunday, I arrived with groceries, helped her with technology, organized her pills, and simply sat listening while she recounted stories of the bakery she and Grandpa had built over 40 years. Veronica showed up twice a year, Christmas and Grandma's birthday, arriving with overpriced gifts, staying exactly 2 hours, then complaining about the drive. Uncle Robert appeared sporadically, usually to nudge Grandma towards selling the house and moving into assisted living that would conveniently free up her assets. Mr. Theodore Brennan, Grandma's trusted lawyer for 30 years, cleared his throat and opened the folder containing her will. A distinguished man in his 60s with silver hair and gentle eyes behind thin wire-rimmed glasses, he was the only attorney Grandma had ever truly trusted. Especially after Grandpa passed, the atmosphere was so tense you could have sliced it. Everyone knew Grandma had wealth. The house alone was valued at over $1 million, not counting savings, antiques, or the jewelry collection. Or rather, what remained of it after valuable pieces had mysteriously vanished in the months leading up to her death. "Before we proceed," Mr. Brennan said, adjusting his glasses, "Mrs. Chen asked me to remind you all that she loved every one of you, flaws and all." That should have been our first clue something unexpected was coming, but we were all too focused on potential inheritances to catch the faint knowing smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. "Shall we proceed with Dorothy Chen's final wishes?" The room hushed. Everyone leaned forward, eager for the division of wealth. None of us realized we were about to witness something far more precious than money or property. We were about to see the truth unveiled. Mr. Brennan began reading in his calm, precise tone. "I, Dorothy Chen, being of sound mind and body, Declare this my last will and testament. To my son Robert Chen, I bequeath my antique clock collection, valued at approximately $30,000 and $25,000 to assist with what I understand are ongoing business difficulties. Uncle Robert's jaw clenched. He had clearly expected far more, enough to rescue his failing car dealership. To my daughter-in-law, Priscilla Chen, my fine china set and $5,000 to support her creative pursuits. Priscilla's face crumpled. 5,000 wouldn't cover one of her shopping trips. To my grandson Wesley Chen, my art collection and $30,000 to nurture his artistic path, provided he never abandons his dreams. Wesley's eyes widened. That sum was more than he'd earned in the past 2 years combined. To my daughter Janet Chen, my personal jewelry collection, accepting items designated elsewhere, and $50,000. Mom let out a soft gasp, tears welling. The collection included Grandma's wedding band and the emerald brooch Grandpa gave her for their anniversary. To my granddaughter Veronica Chen, Mr. Brennan continued, and Veronica straightened, lips curving into a smug smile. The bronze butterfly brooch she always admired, and $10,000. The smile vanished. What? That's all? A brooch and $10,000. This is outrageous. Please let me finish, Mr. Brennan said calmly, raising a hand. The residue of my estate, the house, remaining financial assets, and contents of my safety deposit box, I leave to— Stop right there! Veronica leapt up, face flushed. Before you say another word, everyone needs to hear this. Silence fell. Even Priscilla stopped scrolling. We all know who's about to inherit everything, don't we? Veronica's manicured finger pointed straight at me. Sweet, innocent Melanie, the perfect granddaughter who magically appeared every single week. Veronica, sit down, Mom snapped. No, Aunt Janet, not when we all see what's been happening. Has anyone else noticed Grandma's most valuable pieces disappearing over the last 6 months? Grandpa's 50th anniversary pearl necklace, gone. The vintage Cartier watch, vanished. The diamond earrings she wore to my graduation, nowhere to be found. Uncle Robert rose to support his daughter. Veronica's correct. I've suspected the same, but hesitated to speak. Melanie had keys, the alarm code, and unsupervised access every Sunday. You can't be serious, Wesley protested. Mel would never steal from Grandma. Wouldn't she? Aunt Priscilla chimed in. I heard at book club that someone spotted Melanie at that high-end pawn shop downtown, the one specializing in estate jewelry. She doesn't deserve anything, Veronica proclaimed. She played the devoted role while robbing Grandma blind. The room exploded. Mr. Brennan observed the chaos with an unreadable expression, making no attempt to intervene, as though waiting for the performance to conclude. Finally, he raised his hand, instantly quieting the room. If I may continue, he said with quiet authority. Mrs. Chen foresaw precisely this scene. She left me explicit instructions for this moment. He retrieved a sleek laptop from his briefcase, oddly modern amid the antiques. Your grandmother was extraordinary. At 78, she embraced technology with enthusiasm that would shame many half her age. Everything, Mr. Chen. 6 months ago, after the first items disappeared, your mother consulted me. She requested installation of discrete security cameras throughout the house. Veronica paled dramatically. That's illegal. You can't record without consent. Actually, Mr. Brennan replied evenly, a homeowner may record anything in their own residence, particularly when suspecting theft. Mrs. Chen was fully within her rights. Melanie, Mr. Brennan said, turning to me, do you recall assisting your grandmother with cloud storage 6 months ago? I nodded. She wanted to digitize family memories. I helped scan old photos and set up automatic backups. That wasn't all she preserved, he said with a small smile. The security system fed directly into that same cloud account. All footage was uploaded and securely stored. This is absurd, Veronica stammered. Even if cameras exist, they'll show nothing, because Melanie was careful. I mean, because nothing happened. Wesley snorted. Smooth recovery, cousin. Mr. Brennan opened a folder labeled Evidence, containing dozens of time-stamped video files. The remainder of my estate, I bequeath to the person who assisted me in identifying the thief within this family. No riddle at all, Mr. Brennan answered. Mrs. Chen knew she was being robbed. Melanie unwittingly helped establish the very system that would expose the truth. The TV flickered to life, displaying a crisp view of Grandma's living room. Timestamp, 4 months earlier, 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. The footage showed Veronica entering with a key, moving confidently upstairs to Grandma's bedroom. Another angle followed her to the mahogany jewelry box. She opened it effortlessly, removed the pearl necklace Grandpa gave Grandma for their 50th anniversary, slipped it into her purse, then carefully rearranged the remaining pieces to conceal the theft. That means nothing, Veronica said hastily. Grandma sometimes let me borrow jewelry. Mr. Brennan advanced to the next clip without comment. It showed Veronica at the upscale downtown pawn shop, handing over the necklace, counting cash, signing forms. There is one more recording, Mr. Brennan said quietly. This one Mrs. Chen recorded herself the week before her passing. Grandma in her favorite wingback chair looked straight into the lens, eyes clear and resolute. If you are viewing this, I have passed, and the truth has emerged. For months I knew what Robert and Veronica were doing. Melanie, my dear, you helped far more than you realize. Robert, Veronica, I am disappointed, but not shocked. The police already possess copies of these recordings. The house, the funds, everything goes to Melanie. Grandma smiled, that mischievous grin I remembered. I may have been old, but I was never foolish. Sometimes the finest revenge isn't served cold. Sometimes it's served with video evidence. Veronica lunged for the door, but Mr. Brennan's voice halted her. Detective Morrison is waiting outside. Veronica froze. This is entrapment. I'll sue. Sue whom? Mr. Brennan asked serenely. You stole $35,000 worth of jewelry. That is a felony. Aunt Priscilla moved away from her husband. You convinced me Melanie was stealing. Mr. Brennan produced another document. Veronica, you have 30 days to repay the full $35,000 plus interest. Robert, your participation voids your entire inheritance. Mr. Brennan handed me an envelope. From your grandmother, Melanie. My dearest Melanie, by now the wolves have bared their teeth. The house is yours, all $2.8 million of it, plus my savings. Transform the house into something beautiful. Remember, sweetheart, family isn't defined by blood. All my love forever. Grandma P.S. Make Veronica earn her forgiveness. 6 months later, I stood in the renovated Victorian home. The scent of fresh cinnamon rolls drifted through the air. Veronica was working off her debt through community service. Uncle Robert's dealership failed, but he found steady work as a mechanic. Every Thursday, I visit Grandma's grave with warm cinnamon rolls. Grandma always said truth eventually rises to the surface. She didn't merely leave me property and money. She left me the truth. Her final words to me were, "Technology is marvelous, dear, but wisdom is greater." If you enjoyed this tale, please give this video a thumbs up. What would you have done in Melanie's place? Until next time, remember, sometimes the greatest inheritance isn't wealth, it's truth.